Kim Kardashian is being thrown under a bus by a former producer for the reality show. A producer by the name of Russell J. testified in a deposition for Kris Humphries.
Is this guy's name J-A-Y, or is it like Russell J?
J-A-Y.
All right, well,
okay,
then
all right. We permit it.
Yeah, exactly, because otherwise I was about to rule instantly without even hearing the facts of the case.
All right, well, he has basically testified that the so-called reality show isn't reality at all.
Get out.
Yeah,
No.
I know, it's
Yeah.
just super shocking. So according to Jay's deposition, Kardashian not only knew about Humphries' surprise proposal before it actually happened, but it was reshot because the reality star didn't like her reaction the first time around. It's common practice for the reality show to reshoot certain scenes, and the fact that Kim knew she was going to be proposed to isn't surprising.
So now, look, first of all, before everybody flips out, anytime we do a Kim Kardashian story, heads explode. They're like, oh, why are you doing this, TYT? Just calm down. It's not about Kim Kardashian. It's about what it says about our media, our culture, etc. And
A little bit about Kim Kardashian.
no, I mean, we haven't even shown her breasts yet. Okay, are we not merciful? Or maybe we're not. So, but people believe this. I mean, they eat this up. There's a reason why reality shows do so well and why Kim Kardashian gets paid so well, etc. I mean, they're eating this up like it's real. I mean, all those house shows, those houses aren't for sale. Those people aren't buying houses. None of it is true. But yet people love this stuff.
Well, I mean, there are obviously, under the now giant penumbra of reality television, there's a lot of levels of reality. There are some things that are more real than others. Some things, like when you throw the people into the house, those strike me as more real than others, except for the fact that it's a wildly unreal circumstance, but at least it's like a game.
You get a sense of their personalities to some degree.
Yeah.
But everything else is manufactured.
Yeah,
the fights, the emotional things.
And that's why in the episode, the one season I watched of Real Housewives of New York, that second season of when Jill and whatever her name is, Bethany, when they had the fight, that was so clearly an actual fight. It was this moment that broke through in a way that you're like, that woman is legitimately crying over the fact that she's having a fight with her friend. Mm-hmm. Like something has happened here that it's. And then I sat down to watch the third season, and you're like, oh no, it's all gone. Everything's gone.
There'll be some moments of like genuine conflict, but it's rare. I mean,
and by the end, they have to manufacture it. Like in Jersey Shore, you get a sense that Snooki and the situation are actual knuckleheads, right? Like they really are like that situation. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get laid. Oh, the situation. Like among his friends, right? And then by season 3, they're making up fake fights, and it's so obvious the producer told the situation, go say this about him, and then say it behind his back, and then have everybody get mad.
And they all have phone conversations on speakerphone, so everybody can hear. I mean, the whole thing, yeah.
Of course, but people don't know. That's why news is like this is somewhat important, so that you get shaken out of your complacency.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, look, the deposition continues, and they make a reference to Kim's makeup, and I think that it hits the nail on the head. So, and you'll figure out why. So it continues. Kim told Kris how, where, and when to propose. It was absolutely no surprise to her whatsoever. First of all, Kris proposed in the middle of the day, and he had to do that because it would create better lighting to capture the moment. Kim looked so surprised, but she knew it was happening. She was in full hair and makeup, as she always is on the show. Okay, let's stop right there. Like, the thing that drives me crazy about people that buy into reality shows is normal people don't wake up in the morning with like full makeup and like perfect hair. And on the Kardashian show, like they're in full makeup and hair at all times. Like, I just woke up, I just gave birth. It doesn't matter, I look perfect. You know what I mean? It's not realistic.
What do you guys think? What percentage of people who watch the show think it's real?
Low.
Really?
12.
I'm thinking 90.
We're in our own bubble, Ben.
I
mean, we live in LA. We know it's not real.
But it's like, I mean, it's real and not. Like, it's obviously not fully real. But the flip side is, if she's having a date with Kris Humphries, let's presume that it's not that she didn't know it was coming, as this guy says. She'll say she didn't know it was coming. Who cares, right? If you're going to have a date with Kris Humphries and the cameras are going to be there, well, you're going to be in full hair and makeup. I mean, when the cameras are there, they're not there all the time. They look like they're ready to be on television. Like, I have no issue with that. I have no issue with them knowing that it's going to be, that she was proposed to and she knows it's exciting and they're rigging it for TV. But I think people...
I got it. I have the answer. Mm-hmm. The reality shows today are the WWF of old. So people, it's 80-20. 80% of course, know that it's fake. but 80% of them don't want to know that it's fake.
Right.
Right. So they're like, I like it. And the other day I saw Dusty Rhodes bleeding all over, and so I think it's real. Okay. And Rowdy Piper looks so angry at Snuka.
Also, it's real. It's real enough, right? And this is real enough because while obviously it's staged, the fact is you are seeing an actual person propose to an actual other person and her accept, and then they're getting married. So, like, it's a little real.
I know.
It's totally staged, but
his entire point and the reason why he's having former producers like testify in depositions is because he feels like the marriage was a fraud and he wasn't in on what was going on.
So he's right about that.
Yeah.
And that's what's really interesting about it is that reality has now bent around television so that you don't know even the players, the characters within the show don't know what's real anymore.
Yeah.
So Kris Humphries is saying, like, I don't even know if our marriage was real or if it was just part of a TV show. And he's right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still. I'm not buying it. I don't. I mean, that's an interesting thought, and that's certainly true. That guy is a fraud, and he's trying to get money from them. And
who, Jay?
Yeah. No. Kris Humphries, and that's what he got his friend to testify. And she's a fraud, and she's trying to keep her money. There's no good guy. Oh, Kris Humphries. There's no way if Kris Humphries didn't know that this was part of a. Now, granted, he may have thought that we might have an actual life together. That's entirely possible. She may well have thought that. Obviously, this did not work out how she intended it. This was a public relations mistake. It would have
Not
been,
really. It's a good season where you go through a marriage and a divorce. Like it's something interesting happened.
Better would have been to be married 3 years and have it be. There were ways to do it.
It gets boring. You got to move on to another season.
I damaged her brand. I definitely damaged her brand.
You think so?
Oh, I think I unquestionably damaged her brand.
I think the damage was already done.
I mean, like the brand can't be damaged in a sense.
Sure it can.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No,
like
people get tired of her. Again, the key is that people have to believe some degree of reality. This instantly getting portrayed. Look, if I were obviously we don't have any science behind this. If I were advising her and this were the plan to have this marriage and then have it exposed as a sham, I'd be like, you're insane. This is a huge mistake. People will hate you. Like you have to maintain. They have to. Again, it's staged, but they have to feel like you guys love each other,
right.
and that you're crazy people who are doing this dumb thing on reality TV.